surprises in your group in fall camp, would you say so far?
Justin Belknap. He's a walk-on, works his butt off, high motor guy. He's running with the ones right now, and he hasn't let me down. He's been working his, like I said, high motor, and I can't ignore that. So I got to play the best guys, and that's what I tell my group: the best guys going to play. I need all of them to be good, but as far as a pleasant surprise, he's been one of them.
You just talking the other day that you two had a relationship before you were able to take over as defensive line coach. How has that helped him with you were taking over?
Oh, it's helped out tremendously. They know me already. They know what I'm gonna bring to the table. So I have high expectations of them. So that's helped out tremendously. Me being here for the past 4 or 5 years, and the players know me. Me being in the weight room, I have a great relationship with all the guys.
Is there anything besides his motor that makes him stand out above the rest?
He's smart. He understands. He has a great football IQ. So that helps out tremendously. He's a little undersized right now, and needs a little more work in the weight room. But as far as his technique and pad level and leverage goes, he has it.
So Belknap and Parker Zellers are both in about the 250 range, which for modern day defensive lineman is undersized.
It's undersized.
Can you guys hold up against big 300-pound offensive linemen with that kind of
toe-to-toe? No, but we have Fish. That's a bigger guy and knows that'll complement Zellers coming in like that. But a lot of movement with the movement. But if we go toe-to-toe, we won't be able to hold up with the bigger guys, so we have to move around a lot, stem and stuff like that. But as far as them guys go, like the Parker Zellers and Belknap, they're high motor guys. So in the fourth quarter, they have the same motor, and that's going to wear the big guys down.
Mm-hmm. How have you seen that pre-snap movement impact practice and their ability to get in the backfield?
Well, it helps out because now the big old linemen, they make their calls, and now if we stem to a different call or whatever like that, it just messes up the blocking schemes. And like I said, once again, I preach get off the ball, high motor, relentless pursuit of the ball, so that helps out.
Rich Redd said that you were very persistent in expressing your interest in the defensive line job. Is that right?
That's very true. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, and I know what I want. I know what I want to do. And I believe I'm one of the best D-line coaches around, and I got to go out and improve myself. And that's what I plan on doing.
How'd you get your first start? How'd you first get your start in coaching?
I played 11 years professionally, so later on, towards the end of my career, I felt myself being a player coach on the field, getting guys lined up, and guys actually listen. And I think I'm a great motivator, and a great teacher of football and life skills. And that's where it all started. And I started coaching high school football in Phoenix for a few years, and I just kept working my way up, and then people started taking notice of that.
Who would you say were your biggest influences early on in your coaching career?
Well, my freshman year in college, Rob Marinelli was my D-line coach, and a lot of stuff I preach now is what I learned from him. And I was blessed and fortunate when I got to Kevin Walthausen, who's still coaching with UConn, Mike Waffle, who's a D-line coach for the Rams. I've been under them, and then my year I spent with the Raiders, being under Russell Maryland, Pat Swillen, Darryl Russell. I just learned a lot from you guys.
Sure. And then you spent a year in NFL Europe?
I spent 2 years in NFL Europe.
2 years. What was it like? Were you in Frankfurt?
I was in Frankfurt the first year and then Barcelona the next.
Okay. What was that like?
A great experience. Great experience. I mean, it changed my life. Just seeing the way of the world. You're in the States and you're so used to living life one way, and then you go overseas and see how different countries live their life, and it just opens your eyes up and it broadens your horizons of just the way of life. And I'm like a sponge. I'm still like a sponge to this day. I soak up everything. Being here under Rich and all these other good coaches, I soak up everything. I take a piece of what they do and I use it.
Were you married at that time?
No. So I had a good time.
And then you played for a long time in the Arena League.
I did, 8 years. 8 years.
Was that enough? Did you make enough money to support yourself?
I did. I made a nice little chunk of change, but I worked security in the off season. I was able to go still train in the mornings, do a little security at night, nice, at a laid back spot. So it wasn't too strenuous, and then just that kept bills flowing in, the money flowing in, and then I go back to playing. And I loved every minute of it. I love playing football. I love the game of football, and Arena League gave me an opportunity to do that.
Where did you work security?
At Dos Gringos in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Yeah, had a great time. Met some interesting people and some good people, and still friends to this day.
And then Charlie Regal,
Yeah.
did he see something in you, or did you know him, or?
Well,
how did that
Charlie and I
relationship
have we've known each other for a while, and he actually used to work at Dos Gringos too. So when he was on his way out, I was on my way in at Dos, and then during the off season, I would go back and train to where he was GAing at, and we had a couple good buddies there. So I knew Charlie from there, and then the teams I coached in Phoenix, we would play Chaparral, and so we just know each other. And then once the time came and opportunity for me to go coach at Chaparral, it was a perfect match, and that's one of my good friends, and we we love each other. We have a good relationship, a good bond. We talk mess to each other, but we both are very passionate about what we do.
Thanks, man.
What,
I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Yeah, talking to you.
What went into the decision to have Sonny cut down a little bit this year?
I just needed him to move a little bit better, move around a little bit better. He's going to play a little defensive end for me. So last year he's a nose tackle, so he can be a little beefier. But this year he's my guy, my swing guy. So he can play tackle, nose, or end. So I need him to trim up a little bit so he can move around and have a little more stamina and play a few more plays in the game.
So you went to him about that originally?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the spring?
It was during the spring, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What who's another guy besides Belknap who's maybe really stepped up their game in the fall this year?
Fanene.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't get too much playing time last year, but he was chomping at the bit to play. And so I told him to work on his flexibility, get a motor, get going, and he's also been a pleasant surprise.
How important is it to have two older guys like that?
Well, it's
Do
key.
they bring
It's
something
leadership.
else?
They bring leadership. Like when I'm on the road recruiting, Fish and Sonny, they stepped up and they were leaders, and they got the guys going, and they worked their butts off during the summer.